So I can't believe that one of y'all really asked me if I use my kitchen. Does it look like I use my kitchen? Girl, get out of here. I'm the librarian, and I came to read. So as you probably guessed, it's time for me to answer some of the questions that you guys left me on my previous video. So the first one, where do you get your outfits and do you have a boyfriend? Okay, so a lot of people ask me where I get my outfits from, and I promise you, when a lot of this shit is old as fuck. Like when I first went to college, I didn't have anything that really represented what I wanted to like wear and shit. So over the years, I just kept buying shit, and then over the years, I just kept buying shit, and then one day I woke up, I was like, girl, my closet looks a fucking mess. Like there's a whole bunch of shit here. I'm talking about from out Forever 21, like I go all over the place, bitch. If there's a ghetto ass store in the mall, best believe my ass is going in there. Online, like it's from all over the place. So I can't say it's from one specific area, but literally it's anything that I see and it's cute, I'll pick it up. I don't care which store it's from. And that's probably why, like one day I'll be the most cunt bitch ever. Next day I get on here looking like Trade. Like, my style, and I think that was another question, like what is your style, I guess? How do you decide your style? My style is like literally when I wake up and however I'm feeling. You know what I mean? However I'm feeling, do I want to serve cunt bitch, you know what I mean, pearls and necklaces and, you know, body chains and shit? Or do I want to give you streetwear, you know what I mean? Do I want to serve you girls athletic tees, you know, tank top tees? I don't know, it's just whatever I feel when I wake up. Malibu Paris, if you were an artist, which label would you be signed to? Also, who would you collaborate with? Hopefully, I would have enough sense as an artist not to be signed with anybody because them hoes don't look out for you. Hopefully I would be able to build it up off of social media. Who would I collaborate with? I don't know, girl. Like I would try to collaborate with all the gays on Twitter and shit that be out here, you know, fucking the game up with their independent ass music. But like right now, for some reason, I'm just obsessed with city girls and I feel like their energy would match mine right now. We just, you know what I mean, fucking people's niggas and taking their fucking money. And that's exactly the spirit that I'm on. If Beyonce divorced Jay-Z, who would you want her paired with? A woman. What are some of the difficulties about living in Atlanta? And I would say they're no different than any other city. I feel like Atlanta gets a bad rep just because of the stigma around gay people and they messy and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, gays are gonna be messy in every city. Gays are gonna be cool in every, you know what I mean? You're gonna find cool people and messy people in every city. It's just that the proportions here are high. That's what I find. A lot of people move from city to city to city just not realizing that there are gonna be fucked up people in every part of the country. You just gotta find the people that you mesh with. And that's easier said than done, but it is possible. Okay, so damn MJ dragged the shit out of me in a couple questions. But I want to get to this particular one first before I forget about it. She asked me to maybe read a snippet of the novel that my ass is working on, the fantasy gay ass novel that my ass is working on. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So I'm not going to give too much away about the plot, but I will just say that the character that I'm about to read you right now, he's not the main character. I guess you could kind of consider him a villain, and he don't play no fucking games. King Gaunabi growled, and his eyes burst with fire. His magic responded to his rage, and the air in front of him swirled and transformed into a blue blaze. He desperately gripped the seed of flame as if it was the last piece of his sanity left. His whole council jumped back for fear that the heat might melt their skin away. "Do not defy me," King Gaunabi shouted curses in Emberian as his tornado of fire subsided. "The only reason why you're here, Lord Rezuo Goldtrace, is because of all that money your house makes. If you do not give it up, I will take it if that is what is necessary to protect the throne." The drops of spit that angrily flung themselves from Gaunabi's mouth were sizzling as they hit the marble floor of the throne room. So yeah, that's the villain that the main character is up against, girl. He's not playing no fucking game. And that shit is nothing compared to like what this nigga is crazy as hell. So I'm really excited. If you guys know of any illustrators, like I'm gonna need the main character with his fucking fro riding on a badass dragon. So if you know of any illustrators, I want this done by the end of 2018. Just let me know. I guess you can contact me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Adrian Expression, you already know. How do you go about chasing your dreams? Any advice for others who are inspired and want to achieve their goals? And I got a few questions like this. I also got how did you kind of start on YouTube, or what made you start YouTube? So I guess I'll talk about both in one. And I'm not really an expert on this because I have so much work to do. I have so many things that I want to get done, so I don't consider myself anywhere near the goal that I want to be, you know. I think that a lot of people think that there's this moment where you just decide, when like it's just a magical moment. Oh, I'm gonna follow my dream, I'm gonna ditch everything that I have. Maybe it works for some people like that, but you know what I found is that chasing your dreams a lot of times is a very gradual thing. It's working with what you have access to and then building on top of that. You know, when I started YouTube, I guess I'll go into YouTube. When I started YouTube, I had my fucking phone or some shit, you know, starting with what you have access to, but knowing that the content or the essence of who you are will, I guess in a word, sell it. You know what I mean? If you're passionate about something, I mean, it will have no choice but to escape you, you know? I don't know how else to put it, but I talked about it a lot, but I started YouTube a long time ago. Oh my God, a long time ago. I was in TV production actually in high school. I was literally on the school news every fucking day, and all the straight boys was mad as fuck. I was over there being gay as shit on the school news right before they had to eat lunch and shit. But it progressed from TV production to like making videos for myself, and then also I was watching YouTube when I was younger and like hating myself, wondering why the hell I was gay, and I was seeing so many people living their lives online and being themselves that I was like, you know what, hopefully I can return the favor one day, and that's what I'm trying to do. I just know how isolating it was for me in my childhood, and like literally being online or online content was my only outlet, so I hope I can pass it on. A lot of people ask me like, what is next for your brand? What is next? I'm just like, I don't know. You see I'm doing like different things. I'm trying to diversify what I have going on. Like I got a podcast going on. I want to get into writing more shit, ebooks and shit. I also want to get into some fucking music. Like I don't know, like I have so many ideas, and the problem with me is that my personality is all over the place. I have to sit down and focus on one thing at a time instead of like having all the tabs open like this fucking Chrome or Safari or something. I was saying that if there is a White House in the fucking future, I would love to do the White House Correspondents' Dinner, girl. Like maybe, I don't know if that's too far-fetched, but I think that shit would be the funniest shit ever. What would you like to see from the white LGBTQ community? We are obviously failing in our promises of equality. What changes do you want to see in the coming decades? I would just first and foremost like to see honesty. I think a lot of the members of the white LGBT community are not honest with themselves when it comes to looking at power dynamics. Some of them are on two sides of the same coin. They either say they don't see color and, you know, all this shit doesn't matter, or color is the only thing they see and they fetishize the fuck out of you. So just honesty and looking, just reflection. That's the first and foremost thing before we can even do anything else. Any advice on dealing with jealousy and insecurity? Wow. Well, for me, my motto is that everything in life has a cost, right? So if I know that it's gonna be really hard for me to be jealous of anything that anybody else got, bitch, because they had to pay for it somehow. I don't give a fuck what you think. They had to pay for it with ignorance. They had to pay for it with hours of their life or years of their life. They had to pay for it somehow. They had to pay for it with their mental stability. They have to pay for it. And that goes for anything. So it's hard for me to feel jealous about something that somebody else got. Like, bitch, I gotta handle my own shit. You know, I gotta handle what I have. And insecurities, sometimes they feel like they're gonna be the end of the world, but then when you get out of it, you realize, wow, bitch, everybody got insecurities around this hoe. Everybody got insecurities around this bitch. And there are two people, those who like to hide it and act like they don't exist, and those who are honest with themselves and honest about the fact that they have insecurities and are dealing with it. Those are the only two people, because everybody got it. So once you know that everybody got insecurities and that everything in life has a cost, it's hard. It's hard to be jealous and insecure. I'm not saying that those things don't ever pop up. They're human. You know, they're human ass fucking things. But it gets easier to deal with when you think about it like that. How do you feel about straight people going to gay clubs? Do you find it refreshing or disrespectful? It depends. I feel like just if straight people are going to a gay club, I think that straight people just have to recognize that these are one of the few safe places sometimes, girl, if they're not fucking shooting our asses up. These are one of the few safe places that gays can congregate. Now, you straight people have reign over the whole fucking, like they have reign over every social space in this country. So just keep that in mind when you're entering someone else's space. Like, this is one of the few places that they can exist and be totally themselves without persecution. And we can always tell the straight people who keep that in mind and come to these places and are allies versus the ones who want to come in there and take it over, colonizing something yet again. Like, girl, this is not, as long as you understand that this is not your space, you have reign over everywhere else. So don't come in there making rules or making people feel uncomfortable or mad as fuck that somebody hitting on you. Girl, kiss my ass. You have literally anywhere else in the country that you can go. So as long as they keep that in mind, I don't see the problem, but just, you can't come in our space pushing us out. That's just that. And since we're talking about clubs, I got this question multiple times. You know, a couple people asked me, Adrian, what do you do when straight men be all up on you in the clubs and shit? And this is an interesting question Because, you know, when I did go to straight clubs, because I try to avoid them at all costs right now, because y'all are crazy. There are a few times where I dress how I fucking dress, and you know straight niggas, they see anything with a fucking shape or whatever, showing off the shape, and they automatically gotta fucking rush to it. They don't care what your fucking face look like. They just wanna be behind you. So literally straight niggas will just fucking run up to me, and I'm just in the moment, I'm thinking, okay, bitch, like what the fuck do I do? Do I turn around now and get beat the fuck up? Or do I turn around, or just fucking ignore it and act like the shit ain't going on, and later on he see me in the fucking club and beat my ass? So usually what I try to do is just turn my ass around immediately. Like, girl, I just want you to know, girl, I got some, you know what I mean, 5 o'clock shadow going on here. Like, and then, girl, there was one reaction, that nigga backed the fuck up. He zooms, he backed the fuck up away from me. What the fuck? I don't know why straight niggas do that shit, but that was how I chose to handle it. But I can completely understand if somebody's like frozen or just like, girl, let me just give this nigga what he want, because these niggas are crazy. So that was how I chose to handle it, but I would never act like that's the only way you can handle it, because, I mean, that's life and death type of shit. Like, someone asked me a good ass question. When you were a TA, did any of your students regularly watch your channel? Now, I went to a PWI, so that's where I fucking taught. So girl, I did not expect now one of those white hoes to be fucking watching my channel. Now maybe they did and they didn't tell me, but yeah, not that I know of, none of them hoes were watching my shit. If this were the apocalypse and you could only keep 2 items, what would you fucking keep? Girl, I have no idea. I'm so indecisive, I can want this. I don't have an answer for that. The one thing I would like to keep is my fucking life. Hey Adrian, are you ever concerned that your honesty in calling things exactly as they are could one day impede your ability to get a job if you had to? That's a good question. I'm hoping that the Adrian Expression brand will continue to flourish, but I think that my videos wouldn't be the only problem either. My fucking individualistic ass personality would cause me to bump heads anyway all the time. So, and the second question, you're offered your dream career opportunity, but there are 2 stipulations. You would have to quit YouTube and the podcast. What would you do? Okay, so it depends on what the career is. If the career can replace what I'm doing, like if it's just what I'm doing on a higher level, then okay, yeah, I could do it, because I would still be providing you guys the content. But I love what I do, y'all. Every time you guys ask me what my skincare routine is, I get so surprised. Like, my skin is not perfect. I don't know what y'all be saying. But honestly, I'm a nigga when it comes to that shit. I'm just be real. Like, I just wake up, make sure I fucking wash my motherfucking face, I take showers, and moisturize the hoe. I don't know. This is a good question too from Rock Music Fanatic 96. What is something you wish you could have told your younger self? I wish I could have told my ass when I was younger, bitch, I wish I could have said, like, the very shit that they making fun of your ass for, you gonna be fucking making money off of. And that's just the tea. The very shit that they making fun of you for right now, girl, you're gonna establish a name off of yourself, and you're gonna help encourage many people who are going through the same fucking shit. So just keep going, girl. Keep going. They gonna be mad. They gonna continue to be mad.